Okay, this video is for Sacramento State University Astronomy 4C Astrobiology. It's August 31st, 2020, about 7:20 p.m. All right, so this is about, my name is Chip Armstrong, and the first thing I want to do is just an introduction. I want to go through the syllabus. We can go through the syllabus again. I'll arrange to have a Zoom meeting for us tomorrow, or actually as you're watching this, maybe today, later today. And our class starts, what time does our class start? 5:30. Okay, so our class starts at 5:30. Okay, so here is the course syllabus. Introduction to Astrobiology, the nature and history of scientific inquiry into life outside of the Earth, definitions of life, habitability of planets and moons in our solar system and extrasolar planets, likelihood of intelligent life outside Earth, and the rationale for search for intelligent terrestrial for extraterrestrial intelligence. My name is Chip Armstrong. You can call me Chip or Mr. Armstrong. There's my email, chip@csus.edu. Class meetings are 5:30 p.m. till 6:45 p.m. They'll be online. Okay, maybe we'll have Zoom meetings. We'll see how it works. I'm going to put up YouTube videos, and if you like the Zoom meetings more, we'll have more Zoom meetings and less YouTube videos. If you like the YouTube videos more, maybe we'll have lesser Zoom meetings and more YouTube videos to watch. We'll have the Zoom meetings to discuss stuff and maybe do a little bit of answering questions and stuff like that. We'll see how it goes. So the Zoom meeting. So now I don't know how this works. I don't know if you guys can access these other two. What I can do is just log on to Zoom right before our class on Tuesdays, and I'll just be sitting there doing something else. You got to speak up. You got to say, "Hey, anybody there?" And I go, "Oh yeah, I'm here," because I may be over watching TV or something. I don't know. Probably not. I'll probably be messing around on the computer. All right. So, and I don't know how it works. I don't know if you can access those other ones. This one here, I'm kind of sorry I made it Monday and Wednesday, but that's before a 5A discussion lab, Physics 5A. This one's before Physics 107. So we'll see how it goes. Final schedule, we're going to have our final Tuesday, December 15th, 5:15 to 7:15. What is this? Go away. All right. Book supplies, the textbook going to be Life in the Universe, Bennett and Showstock, 3rd edition. Okay, so I'm going to just be using that book to make, for example, the PowerPoint presentations. Here's the first PowerPoint. So I'm just going by what the book said. Okay, so we got this whole stuff. This is kind of how the book starts, talking about possibility of life beyond Earth and so on. So that's the book we're going to rely on heavily for the content of the course. Okay, the points, quizzes, 150 points. Quizzes are going to be 20 points each. So they're not going to add up to be 150 points. That'd be impossible. But what I'll do is I'll take what you got out of what was possible, get your percentage. Like if you got 90%, I go 0.9 times 150, and that's how many points out of 150 you would get for the quizzes. Same thing for the online assignments, 50 points, and then the exam one is 100 points, and final is 100 points. Okay, quizzes will be given every Tuesday at the end of class, except the first and second week of the semester, the first week, the week of the midterm, the week after the midterm, and the week of Thanksgiving, and the week before finals. So I actually have the list for the quizzes on the schedule here that you can download. Okay, so we see quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, quiz 4. So nothing the second week, nothing next week. We'll get our bearings, and then we'll have quiz number 1 the third week, and then we'll have quizzes every Thursday after that. Then we won't have a quiz because we have our exam. It'll be October, so 19th is a Monday, so 20, 21, 22. So October 22nd will be exam number 1. Then no quiz right after because we haven't covered any new material, right? We had our exam. Then we'll have quiz 6 after we've covered new material, quiz 7, quiz 8. Thanksgiving, no class on Thursday, so we won't have a quiz this week. Well, so we go from 8 to 9, the week after Thanksgiving. No quiz right before the final, and then we'll have our final. Okay, actually, other thing I wanted to show you here. So this is our Canvas page. I'm doing this for the second time because I messed up things the first time around. So I forgot I didn't show you this time around the Astronomy Canvas page. So there is the course syllabus. You download this, you get this, the syllabus we're going over right now. You download this schedule, you will get this, okay? And then also on Canvas we have the first online Astro 4C. This is the first worksheet. So you download that and you will get this questions. And we'll go over maybe some of them tonight, but I think I'll leave most of them for a later YouTube video. And we could go over them tomorrow night or later today, depending on when you're watching this video, in the Zoom session that we have for 5:30 that I'm going to make for 5:30. Okay, so on the syllabus, quiz every week except every Thursday except the first and second weeks of the semester, the week of the midterm, the week after the midterm, the week of Thanksgiving, and the week before finals. The quiz will cover the material from the week before. So in other words, we cover material on Tuesday, Wednesday, then Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. So it'll be over the material we covered the week before. I'll do probably a little review and so on. The quiz will cover the material from the week before. The lowest quiz score will be thrown out. If you fail to take more than one quiz and have a legitimate excuse for both absences, then we will have to make one of the exams worth more. You should try to avoid this at all costs. Remember, the quizzes are just from the material the week before. It's still fresh in your head. The final and the exam 1 is going to be all the stuff we covered up to exam 1. The final is going to be all the stuff we covered from exam 1 all the way up to the final. So that's a lot more stuff you got to keep straight. On average, the quiz takes less than 10 minutes. Online assignments, almost every week we'll have 2 online assignments. Again, I have changed this quite a bit. The first time I went through and did this, I saw so many errors while I was going through it, like really carefully, and so I started making so many changes. I just started over, and I had to change this to 2 online assignments every week. Okay, so we're working through either on YouTube video or on Zoom. About the only way not to get full credit for these assignments is to not turn them in on time. So you turn them in on time, and you did them all, you filled them out, you got 5 out of 5. You turn them in a little bit late, maybe you're 4 out of 5. You turn them in like at the last minute, the end of the semester, which students have done. Maybe it's more like 2.5 out of 5. Okay, it keeps going down the longer you wait. So even if you didn't turn it in right on time, you would have tried to get it in as soon as possible so it doesn't drop too much. Okay, the midpoint of the semester, October 22nd. I'm pretty sure it's going to be October 22nd. There will be a midterm over the material covered during the first half of the semester. The midterm will consist of multiple choice questions and maybe true-false questions. You will not need a Scantron. This is ancient. This goes back to when we had it in the lecture class. We could probably take that out. If you miss the midterm and have a valid reason for missing, we will have to double the points on the final. Again, something you want to avoid. Okay, and you got to have a valid excuse. Okay, why you had to miss the midterm. Final. There will be a final on Tuesday, December 15th from 5:15 to 7:15. I'm pretty sure I updated that. The final will concentrate on the material covered over the second half of the semester after the midterm. The final will consist of multiple choice questions and true-false questions. You will not need a Scantron. I just thought of something. Hold on. Okay, you're going to want to download the new version of the syllabus because I just thought of this just a bit ago. This is a new rule I have because I really can't do anything about it. Normally, you would not be allowed to have any notes or access to any materials for the quizzes or the exams. Now that means that we're sitting in the classroom and I can watch you guys. And I've gone around and I've caught students trying to look at the PowerPoint presentations while they're taking the exam. That's a big no-no, and that person could have been expelled. That was very, very bad. Okay, but due to current circumstances, I really have no way to monitor students taking the class. Just so I don't give an advantage to the not-so-honest students over the honest students, the rule is, whether you're honest or not so honest, you can use the PowerPoint presentations and the online worksheets for reference during quizzes and exams. Okay, but remember, I'm going to be aware that you have access to those. That may make the questions a little bit more challenging than normal. Okay, so otherwise, if I just said no, you can't use any of that stuff, there are going to be people who say, well, he can't watch me anyway, so I'm going to use it. And then the people who are like, oh, he said I couldn't use it, so I better not. So that gives a huge advantage over the not so honest students. And I'll tell you something, not so honest students usually don't make it to their senior year. I've found that a lot of times. And this is a class that has a lot of freshmen in it, and if you're one of the people who's not so honest, you better start trying to be an honest student now And so you can't have other people help you though. You also can't use the textbook. If you think you have to use a textbook to answer the quiz and the quizzes when you have access to the PowerPoint and the online worksheets, that means that you're desperate, because the book's going to go over a ton of stuff that we're not going to go over in class, and the online worksheets are very focused on what we're going to do in class, as are the PowerPoint presentations. So the book should be pretty much useless if you have these two resources. All right, so just so I don't give an advantage over not so honest students compared to honest students, the honest students are allowed to use the PowerPoint presentations and the online worksheets. Now, you can't use somebody else to help you. If you're going to need someone else to help you, that means you're not studying very hard, and maybe you ought to reevaluate your life and think of something else to do with it, and not take up space in a college that other people want. Okay, quizzes. There'll be a quiz every. I think we went over this. We went over this because that's when I remembered I wanted to put this in. So we've gone over when the quizzes are going to be, and I also showed you on the schedule where they are. That's the wrong thing. See, I already messed up, and I'm starting this over again. So I can't remember what did I cover this time. What did I cover last time that I forgot to cover this time? So we've gone over the quizzes. We'll look at the schedule thing again later. All right. So moving on. Online assignments. Almost every week we will have 2 online assignments. These will be worked through either on a YouTube video, you're watching a YouTube video right now, or on Zoom. Well, I'm going to upload this again anyway, so I just make a quick fix here, or on Zoom. About the only way to not get full credit for these assignments is to not turn them in on time. Not turn them in on time. Yeah, I find all these little tiny errors. That error was in there last year then, because I just copied this from last year. About the only way not to get full credit for these assignments is to not turn them in on time. You turn them in, you just want to, if you turn them on time, you get 5 out of 5. And it's filled in, okay, and you're going to be able to fill them in because I'm going to go over all of them. If you turn it in a week late, maybe it's 4 out of 5, and then if you dump them on me at the end of the semester, like 5 online assignments at the end of the semester, maybe they're 2.5 out of 5. Okay, so you want to get them, even if you don't turn them in on time, you want to turn them in as soon as possible. At the midpoint of the semester, it'll be the 22nd. There will be a midterm over the material covered during the first half of the semester. The midterm will consist of multiple choice questions and maybe true-false questions. They're going to be mostly multiple choice. Okay, again, you will not. Okay, we did go over this because I said that's left over. Okay, if you miss the midterm and have a valid reason for missing, we will have to double the points in the final. Again, something you want to avoid. Final basically is the same thing. It's going to be December 15th. The final will concentrate on the material covered over the second half of the semester after the midterm. The final will consist of multiple choice questions and true-false questions. You will not need a Scantron. I can take that out probably. And then here's the grade breakdown. So you get 90% or above, you're guaranteed an A. You get 80% to 89%, you're guaranteed a B. And here we can give minuses and pluses. So an 88 might actually be an A minus. Okay, 88 might be an A minus, and 85 might be a B plus, for example. So you got pluses and minuses mixed in here too. Okay, this is something I copied off of the Sac State website, since this is a huge class. And this is something, you hear this on KCRA, they talk about this too. We have a significant percentage of students who struggle with homelessness and hunger on our campus. 10% housing insecurity, 46% food insecurity. Oh no, almost half my students aren't eating properly, so that kind of gets me worried. So we want students to know that there are resources offered on campus and in the community. I'm not sure what these are now during COVID, but you may want to still check into it. And you can check into it down here, okay? There's their website, Basic Needs. It's a CSUS EDU Basic Needs, okay? So if you're having problems, there are people who you can go to who can help. Okay, mental health support. All of us benefit from support during times of struggle. And this was written a year ago, okay? Now look at times of struggle. I'm struggling with this stuff, COVID thing. Okay, you are not alone. There are many helpful resources available on campus, and an important part of the college experience is learning how to ask for help. Asking for support sooner rather than later is often is often what often helpful. Student help and counseling services at the well is here to help. Then they got the number there, and you can visit their website and so on. If you or someone you know is feeling suicidal or in danger of self-harm, call someone immediately, day or night. So you got all these numbers to call. College is rough. I went through it back in the 1920s. I was your age. Back in like 1915, I was your age, going to World War I. So I went through it all too. Okay, so anyway, there's the syllabus, and I was almost going to say, are there any questions? But tomorrow night or later today, depending on when you're watching this video, I can say, are there any questions? And you'll be able to ask questions that you now have tomorrow when we look at the syllabus again during the Zoom session. All right, let's look at the schedule real quick. We already kind of looked at it. All right, see, let me point out something. It says tentative, okay? It says tentative. I did not get to this stuff last year, okay? We got through a lot of it. I think searching for life in our solar system is where we got. It might be different this semester because I'll know stuff to leave out. Because, I mean, here's the PowerPoint. I went nuts. See, look at the book talked about Roswell, New Mexico, Area 51, all these things. And basically, see, now look, I went into Roswell, New Mexico, telling you all about that. Went into Area 51. In other words, I went into detail because I found this stuff so fascinating. And that's why, as a class, we didn't get as far as we should. But then, if you read what the California standards are for this class, or what the standards are, we covered that stuff, because it's all supposed to be about you guys understanding what science is and all that stuff. And we do that in depth, okay? But, yeah, I went into great detail about, in other words, you had Orson Welles', see, I went into detail about things that took a little bit longer, so that's why we didn't get as far as the schedule says, but that's okay. We want to learn. We don't want to go so fast that students aren't learning and the quizzes are getting bombed. And then the quizzes were, average quiz score was about 80%, so it was like a B average, right at the B average thing. So that means I don't think I was going too fast or too slow. I was going about right. If I went a little faster, that average probably would have dropped. So I think we went to the right speed, maybe. Okay. All right, so here are all the chapters in the book. Again, yeah, we're not going to be able to cover all this. This is tentative. That's why I highlighted it. It's tentative. It's boldface when it's not highlighted. All right, so we'll get through maybe 7 if it were the same as last year. Maybe we can get a little bit further. Maybe we can talk a little bit about Mars, life on Jovian moons, maybe. We'll see, okay? But I'm just letting you know now that I'm not going to try to cover all these and then have people give me quizzes that are like 6 out of 20. Okay, I don't want to do that, because this is not something, unless you're going to be an astronomer, and so if you're going to be an astronomer, then this class, you should just ace it. But if you're going to be a journalist, criminal justice, I think that's the #1 major I get in this class, in the astronomy classes. So obviously, we want you to know what science is, and not necessarily have I picked the one where I can't pronounce the dang word. Not necessarily the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, okay? So we're going to learn what science is. We're going to learn about a little bit about astronomy, and if we don't get to these later things, that'll be okay, because if we rush through it, then maybe people aren't doing so good over here on the quizzes. All right, so just to give you a taste, here are the PowerPoint. I'm going to upload this, but I haven't uploaded it to Canvas yet. Why? Because I want to go through it and make edits. This is leftover from last year. But you can see, welcome to Astronomy 4C, Astrobiology, possibility of life beyond Earth. When we talk about aliens and mass media, our fascination with the idea of intelligent life beyond our own. Roswell, New Mexico, they had a, well, actually we have the slide that goes into detail. On June 14th, oh man, I had 2 Zoom meetings today and already did another video. I think I'm losing my voice. All right, so the point is, I'm going to stop the video here. Actually, let me do one more thing. I'm going to stop the video in a little while. Okay, before I sign off, I just want to show you that I scheduled a Zoom meeting for tomorrow starting at 5:30 p.m. So hopefully, I'm going to send out an announcement about it, but hopefully, I hope they send out, I've been told they send out these announcements when I schedule these meetings. So hopefully you're going to get this announcement that we've scheduled a meeting for 5:30 tomorrow, and then I'll also do an announcement here as soon as I'm done. As soon as the video uploads, I'll do an announcement. Okay, so I think that's everything. Tomorrow night you can ask questions about anything you're not sure about, because we'll be on Zoom. So let me call it quits for now. I'll say good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow or later today.